Assalamu alaikum, dear learners. Welcome back to class. Today I want us to discuss on the peaceful conflict resolution. Remember, we have been discussing about the Battle of Badr. We discussed about the Battle of Uhud, and the last time I was with you, I remember us discussing on the terms of the Treaty of Hudaybiyah. How many terms were there in the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, my dear learners? Yes, we had 6 terms of the Treaty of Hudaybiyah. We discussed the 6 of them, and then we also got some of the lessons we achieved from the Treaty of Hudaybiyah. My dear learners, one of the main points of the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, remember, the Muslims were not allowed to perform Makkah that year, so they made a draft, or they came into an agreement, of which there are some of the points they noted down that they were to follow, both the Muslims and the Quraysh. And the main point was the Muslims were not to perform Makkah that year, but they were to come back for Makkah the following year. So this one was to bring peace, because Prophet also wanted peace. He accepted it, and they had to follow the agreement. Now, after the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, what happened? We'll discuss it later. I just want us to talk about peaceful conflict resolution. Remember, the Muslims and the Quraysh agreed to draft an agreement in order for them to come for Umrah and have a peaceful environment. Now, when I talk of peaceful conflict resolution, what do I mean? This is when we have a problem and we are supposed to solve it out. How are we supposed to solve it? In a peaceful way. As Muslims, how are we supposed to solve the conflict between me and my friend? You, the students, among your students, the students among the teachers, or back there at home. Parents, the conflict between the parents, or parents with neighbors, you students with other neighbors, or the community itself. So that is what I want us to look upon. The very first thing that we are going to talk about peaceful conflict resolution is very first thing you are supposed to do as a student, or as a parent, or as a leader who wants to solve conflict that is there. First of all, you have to calm down first. Calming down first, meaning you are controlling your anger. There is nothing you will solve when you are angry. So the very first point I can say is calm down first. You calm down, control your anger. There is nothing you will solve when you are angry. Make sure you are not angry first, is when you can have a peaceful talk. So we can say calm down first by controlling anger. Is that one okay, my dear learners? The second point, how we can solve conflict in a peaceful way: listen to others without interrupting. Suppose I'm the one now to listen of what transpired between the two of you, or you are fighting with your friend. As a teacher, I've called you. I want to know what happened. I have to listen to both the two parties. Each and every party, you have to express yourself what have happened. I have to give you time to express yourself. I listen both the sides so that I can now know how to help. So the very second one is listening to others without interrupting. Listening to others without interrupting. You let him or her express himself keenly. You listen to what happened, and then you also have your own time to express yourself of what happened. The third way of a peaceful resolution is respecting other people's opinion. You wronged me, you did this one, I was not happy with it. So you have to respect my opinion. I was not happy with that. So because you did not respect my opinion, maybe we ended up quarreling. But suppose you respected whatever I don't like and you abide by it, then we shall be staying in peace. So respect the opinion. Opinions or opinions of others. You just don't want you are the person to be listened to. Whatever you say is the final one. No, you also have to listen and respect other people's opinion. The fourth point, my dear learners, we can say put yourself into other people's shoes. At times you have just to lower yourself and understand one another. Put yourself into other people's shoes. I'm not saying that you go and put the shoes of others, but that one means take yourself and put it into their situation. If any case you are the one in that situation, how could you feel? How could you have, we can say, how could you go about it? If any case you are the person who was in the same situation or was in the situation the other person is. So put yourself into people's. Put yourself into other people's shoes. Put yourself into the other person's shoes or situation. When I talk of shoes, it means the situation that person is in so that you can understand him or her better. The fifth point of peaceful conflict resolution: accept your mistake and apologize. Suppose you are the one on the wrong side. It is always good to accept your mistake, and after accepting your mistake, apologize for that. People will be living in a peaceful society. But nowadays we find that most of the people, they don't accept their mistake. They feel that they are the people offended. You know that you are on the wrong side. Dear learners, always have the ability of accepting your mistakes. After accepting your mistake, go back, ask for forgiveness. I'm sorry, I did this and this and that. I've just understood that it was a wrong act. I will not repeat it again. So accept your mistakes. And apologize. Allah loves those people who apologize after making a mistake, meaning you are always regretting of the mistake you have done. Another point, my dear, that you can add on how to resolve conflict in a peaceful way, that is now the sixth point. I can say treat others the way you want to be treated. Treat others the way you want to be treated. If you don't respect me, don't expect me to respect you. You have to respect me for me to respect you. And we respect one another, we'll be staying in a very peaceful environment. So treat others the way you want to be treated. You want me to love you, you have to love me back. Not that you hate me and you expect me to love you. No. So for a peaceful environment, we have to be treated equally. And to the last point about peaceful conflict resolution, my dear learners, if the conflict is overwhelming, walk away and let it go. That one means if the conflict is too much that you tried talking, it's not making you end up quarreling. You are not solving anything. Then you are allowed to walk away and go. Let it be, so that each and everybody to calm down first. So if the conflict if the conflict is overwhelming, we are advised to walk away and let it go. Take time, calm down, and just let it go. As Muslims, you should not be having grudges. So if you see that we've sat down to agree, but we are not coming into any agreement, we are not solving anything. So you are advised to walk away and let it go. Calm down yourself and let it go. Don't hold grudges into your heart. Now, my dear learners, these are some of the peaceful conflict resolution I would like you to practice, whether in school, they are back at home, in the community. Those people who have conflict, suppose you can sit with them down, talk to them. These are some of the points you're supposed to be discussing with them. I want us now to look on a different things all together. After the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, I wanted us to discuss on now the Conquest of Makkah. Conquest of Makkah. Now, my dear learners, let us discuss on the Conquest of Makkah. Conquest of Makkah, in Arabic, we call it Fatul Makkah. So in Arabic is referred to as the Fatul Makkah, meaning the conquest of Makkah. Now, when I talk about conquest, the word conquest comes from the word to conquer. Conquest. This one is derived from the word conquer. Now, let us see what is the meaning of the word conquer. To conquer something. To conquer something means what? To take control over, take control or overcome. So it is to take control over or to overcome. So that is the meaning of the word conquer. Now, my dear learners, I want us to discuss on the event that led to the conquest of Makkah. After knowing the reason, the conquest of Makkah means to conquer, meaning Makkah was conquered. Makkah was taken control over by which people? So let us see on the events that led to the conquest of Makkah. I want you to listen to the brief explanation I'm going to give you, my dear learners, so that we come up with points on what happened until Makkah was conquered. Now, my dear learners, one of the terms of the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, remember, was that any Arabian tribe was free to enter into agreement with either side, either the Muslim or the Quraysh side. So, and another thing, after they've entered into agreement with any side that they wish, another term was the Muslims and the Quraysh were not to support these tribes. In case of war, the Muslims and the Quraysh were to remain neutral. They were not to back up, nor were they to support any of the team or involve themselves in any way in their fights. Because remember, the terms was there was to be peace, no fighting for the next 10 good years. So suppose these other Arab tribes were to involve into conflict, either the Muslims or the Quraysh were not to involve themselves into the fight. Even if they are their friends, they were not to involve themselves into the fight. So, my dear learners, I want you to listen and listen carefully. So, one of the terms of the Treaty of Hudaybiyah is that the tribe of Arab were free to befriend either the Muslims or the Quraysh side by the side they wanted. Banu Bakr befriended the Quraysh, and Banu Huzah befriended the Muslims. So we have the two tribes of Arabs. We have the Banu Bakr and Banu Huzah. So these two tribes, we are being told that these two tribes entered into an agreement, as in they befriended the Quraysh and the Muslim. Learners, which tribe befriended the Muslim side? It was Banu Huzah. Banu Huzah entered into an agreement with the Muslims, so they were supporting the Muslims, meaning they were befriending the Muslims. And Banu Bakr entered into agreement with the Quraysh. So the two tribes, they supported the Muslims and the Quraysh. So the tribe of Banu Bakr entered in an agreement with the Quraysh, and Banu Huzah were befriending the Muslims. Let us continue. The Quraysh supported the Banu Bakr in attacking by giving them weapons, meaning there was a war between Banu Bakr and Banu Huzah. And remember, whatever was it, any war that transpired between the two or the other tribe, the Muslims and the Quraysh were not to involve themselves. But here there was a war between the Banu Bakr and Banu Huzah. The Quraysh supported the Banu Bakr, attacking the Banu Huzah by giving them weapons and the military equipment for fighting. And they even gave them the military men, meaning the soldiers, to attack the Banu Huzah. This one was against the terms of the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, which stated that each party would remain neutral in the event of war between the Muslims and other parties. So this means both the Quraysh and the Muslims would not help any tribe befriended to fight with one another. So Banu Huzah people reported to the Prophet that the Quraysh had supported Banu Bakr in attacking them, and the Prophet decided to take action because it was against the Treaty of Hudaybiyah term. So the Prophet told the Quraysh that they have broken one of the terms of the treaty by supporting the Banu Bakr to attack the Banu Huzah. And the Prophet gave the Quraysh conditions on what to be followed because they have broken the treaty. Now let us see on the conditions that were given by the Prophet. Now, my dear learners, after breaking one of the terms of the treaty, that one means the Quraysh had broken one of the terms of the treaty by supporting the Banu Bakr in attacking Banu Huzah. The Prophet gave them some of the conditions. And let us see on the conditions that they were given by the Prophet. So you can say the conditions. The conditions that the Prophet gave them was the very first one, to compensate the victims of Banu Huzah. They were to compensate the blood ransom, meaning the people that were attacked were to be compensated. To compensate for the victims of Banu Huzah. That was the first condition. The second condition, they were to end their friendship with the Banu Bakr, meaning the Quraysh were now to end their friendship with Banu Bakr. To end their friendship with Banu Bakr. Or the last condition, that they were to consider the terms of Hudaybiyah nullified. To consider the terms of Hudaybiyah nullified, meaning it was to be the end of the treaty, and the Quraysh decided to consider the terms of the Hudaybiyah nullified. Now, my dear learners, that one made the Treaty of Hudaybiyah to be broken. So, when they considered, that is the three conditions that they were given, they chose to end the Treaty of Hudaybiyah. And we can say the Treaty of Hudaybiyah was now broken. The Treaty of Hudaybiyah was broken because the Quraysh people decided to go with the third condition. Until then, my dear learners, bye-bye.